Did you know that over 350,000 Indian travelers visited Vietnam last year alone?
Yep. It's now one of the fastest growing travel destinations for Indians, and honestly, it's easy to see why.
Picture this, the warm glow of 1,000 silk lanterns in Hoi An.
That first misty morning over Ha Long Bay, when the limestone cliffs rise out of the water like something straight out of a myth, and the unmistakable soul-soothing aroma of pho simmering at a street-side stall in Hanoi.
Vietnam is magic.
It's affordable, it's packed with history,
It's surprisingly vegetarian-friendly.
and the beaches, next level. But here's the thing. Before you can chase sunsets in Da Nang or cruise the Mekong Delta, you need to get your Vietnam visa sorted.
And if you've Googled it, you already know. There's a ton of outdated info, random agent websites charging double, and travelers still arriving without the right documents. That's why in today's video, we're breaking down the easiest, safest, and most reliable way to get your Vietnam visa in 2025. Specifically for Indian passport holders.
No fluff, no shady shortcuts.
Just clear, up-to-date info to save you time, money, and travel headaches.
If you love travel guides that are practical, a little bit fun, and made for real people, hit that like button, subscribe for more honest travel content, and stick around.
Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to get your visa approved and ready for your next adventure. Alright, let's get started. Okay, before we dive into the visa stuff, let's talk about why Vietnam's been blowing up on every Indian traveler's bucket list. First off, it's incredibly affordable. Think luxury resorts in Phu Quoc for the price of a decent hotel in Goa. Street food that's mind-blowingly good for less than Rs 150 a meal. And activities, from overnight Ha Long Bay cruises to full-day bike tours in Ninh Binh, that won't have you checking your bank balance every hour.
Then there's the convenience.
In 2025, direct flights from Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Bengaluru to Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, and Da Nang are more frequent than ever. No tedious layovers in Bangkok or Singapore, unless you're chasing points. And for food lovers?
Yes, Vietnam's a seafood paradise.
But it's also surprisingly vegetarian and vegan-friendly. Plenty of rice noodle dishes, tropical fruits, stir-fried veggies, and even Indian restaurants in every major city.
You won't have to live off instant noodles. Plus, fun fact, Bollywood's catching on too.
A few recent rom-coms and travel vlogs featuring Vietnam's beaches and ancient towns have made it even trendier on Indian Instagram feeds. And get this, honeymoon bookings from India to Vietnam are up by nearly 60% in 2024.
Couples are trading the usual Maldives trip for something a little wilder, cheaper, and packed with culture.
Add to that the surge in solo backpackers, girl gang getaways, and epic bike tours along the Ha Giang Loop, and you've got a destination tailor-made for Indian travelers of every kind. So now, let's get your visa sorted.
Because whether you're chasing waterfalls in Dalat or bartering at the floating markets in Can Tho,
You'll need that little digital approval first.
So here's the deal. Yes, Indian passport holders do need a visa to enter Vietnam in 2025. There are currently no visa-free exemptions for Indian citizens traveling to Vietnam. While Vietnam has signed visa exemption agreements with several countries, India isn't on that list yet. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Vietnam is just a short flight away. Can I just show up like I would for a spontaneous road trip to Goa? Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Arriving without a valid visa can lead to being denied entry and a swift return flight home. But don't worry,
Vietnam offers an e-visa system that's straightforward and convenient.
you can apply online, and once approved, you'll receive a digital visa that's valid for entry. It's the most popular choice among Indian travelers heading to Vietnam in 2025. So before you pack your bags and dream of Vietnamese adventures, let's make sure your visa is sorted. Up next, we'll delve into the different types of visas available for Indian citizens and help you choose the one that best fits your travel plans.
So what kind of visa should you actually get for Vietnam in 2025? The good news is, Indian citizens now have several solid options, but one clearly stands out from the rest. Traditionally, travelers relied on the tourist visa, which came in both single-entry and multiple-entry formats. You'd apply through the embassy or a travel agent, wait a few days, and then get the visa stamped into your passport. The single-entry version allows a stay of up to 30 days, perfect for a straightforward vacation. The multiple-entry option is better if you plan to hop between nearby countries like Cambodia or Thailand and return to Vietnam during the same trip. But honestly, unless you're channeling your overzealous cousin doing a whirlwind Southeast Asia in 7 days tour, the single-entry visa usually does the trick. That said, the real game changer in 2025 is the e-visa. This one's the top choice for most Indian travelers now, and for good reason.
It's completely online, meaning no embassy visits or agents involved. You just head to Vietnam's official immigration site, upload the required documents, pay the fee, and within a few working days, the e-visa lands in your inbox. Even better, it now allows up to 90 days of stay on a single entry, a major upgrade from the previous 30-day limit. And yes, Indian citizens are fully eligible. Now, you might still come across mentions of visa on arrival in older blogs or forums. However, this option requires a pre-approved visa letter from a Vietnamese travel agency and is mainly useful for business travelers or those dealing with last-minute travel situations. It's a bit outdated and more complicated, so not really recommended for most. For those traveling on business, say for meetings, conferences, or even to scope out that dream cafe location in Hoi An, the business visa is the way to go. This does require sponsorship from a Vietnamese company, so it takes a bit more planning up front. But here's the bottom line. In 2025, nearly 90% of Indian travelers opt for the e-visa. It's fast, affordable, and smooths the immigration process like a charm. No middlemen, no inflated agent fees. And next up, I'll walk you through exactly how to apply for your Vietnam e-visa, step by step. Stick around. It's genuinely easier than ordering biryani online. Before you apply for your Vietnam e-visa in 2025, here's what you'll actually need to get it sorted. First, a valid passport, with at least 6 months left from your arrival date, and one blank page for the entry stamp. Even a day less can get you turned away. Next, a passport-size photo, 4 by 6 centimeters with a white background, no glasses, and no filters. While not always mandatory, it's smart to have your hotel booking confirmation handy, as some borders might ask for it. The same goes for a return or onward flight ticket. It's sometimes checked at boarding or immigration. Lastly, you'll need to fill in a Vietnam address on your application, usually your hotel's. So, save it on your phone before you go. All right? Now that you know what you'll need, let's jump straight into how to apply. This is your no-fuss, stress-free guide to getting your Vietnam e-visa sorted for 2025. Follow this checklist and you'll be all set. No agents, no confusion. Just a simple process you can handle yourself. First, head to the official Vietnam e-visa website. I'll drop the link in the video description, so don't go clicking random Google ads that promise VIP fast-track service or anything like that. Stick to the official one, always. Next up, it's time to fill out the application. On the site, click on the section for foreigners, then go to the e-visa application form. You'll need to upload 2 things. A recent passport-size photo, white background, no glasses, no filters. Yep, that means no cat ears. And a clear color scan of your passport's front page. Then, fill in your details carefully. Your full name exactly as it appears on your passport, your passport number, date of birth, travel dates, and your entry and exit points. These don't have to be exact to the minute. Just make sure they're roughly aligned with your travel plans. Take your time here, accuracy matters. Once that's done, you'll pay the visa fee. As of 2025, it's around $25. That's about Rs 1,900 to Rs 2,300, depending on the exchange rate. You'll need to use an international debit or credit card. A quick heads up. RuPay cards often get declined, so it's better to use Visa or MasterCard to avoid hiccups. After payment, it's just a matter of waiting. Processing usually takes 3 to 5 working days, but I've seen approvals come through in under 48 hours. Still, it's smart to apply at least a week before your trip. Delays can happen during holidays or peak travel season. Once it's approved, you'll get an email notification. Make sure to note down your application code when you apply. You'll need it to check your visa status online. Now, when you receive your e-visa, print it. Yes, print it, even if you have it on your phone. Vietnamese immigration officers prefer a physical copy, and it'll just make your arrival smoother. Keep it with your passport. You'll need to show both when you land. And that's it. No bribes, no shady agents, no embassy runs. Just a clean, straightforward process you can finish in one sitting. Maybe even while sipping your evening masala chai. Coming up next, we're tackling a big one. Can you still get a visa on arrival in Vietnam? And honestly, should you even bother in 2025, stick around. One of the most common questions I get is, can I just land in Vietnam and get a visa on arrival, like in Thailand? The short answer is, technically, yes, but only under very specific circumstances. For the vast majority of Indian tourists in 2025, it's neither practical nor advisable. There was a time when visa on arrival was the go-to method for travelers heading to Vietnam. It was quick, easy, and widely used. But times have changed, especially after 2023. The process has become more restricted,
and is now primarily reserved for business travelers or emergencies. And only if you've arranged a visa approval letter in advance through a registered agency. For regular tourists, showing up at Hanoi airport expecting a visa stamp just won't cut it anymore. Many travelers still fall into the trap of outdated information. Blog posts or YouTube videos from 2018 claiming that visa on arrival is hassle-free. Trust me, it's not. I personally met a couple from Mumbai at Da Nang airport last year. They had no e-visa and assumed visa on arrival was still a thing. Unfortunately, they were denied entry and had to rebook flights home, losing over Rs 45,000 on flights and hotel cancellations. A costly mistake that could have been so easily avoided. If, for some reason, you absolutely must go the visa on arrival route, you'll need to secure a visa approval letter from the Vietnam Immigration Department ahead of time, arranged through an authorized travel agency. Even then, it's only valid at certain international airports, like Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, and Da Nang. The fees at the airport are often higher, and the waiting lines, painfully long. Honestly, your best bet is the e-visa. It's simpler, faster, more affordable, and doesn't involve any middlemen, unless you're dealing with a last-minute business emergency, or fall into one of those rare categories with prior approval. Visa on arrival in 2025 is basically a thing of the past. Alright, we've got the Vietnam visa basics out of the way, but here's something most travelers overlook until the clock's ticking. When's the right time to actually apply for your Vietnam visa? Because trust me, nothing kills that pre-vacation buzz faster than realizing your visa hasn't arrived, and your flight's taking off in 12 hours. The sweet spot is applying at least 15 to 20 days before your departure. Sure, the official processing time is 3 to 5 working days, but things don't always run like clockwork. Public holidays in Vietnam, technical hiccups, or a flood of applications during peak travel months, like December and June, can all cause unexpected delays. I've personally seen people get their e-visas approved within 48 hours, while others were left anxiously refreshing their inboxes a week later, feeling like they were waiting for exam results. If you're planning your trip around major events, like the Tet Festival in January-February, Vietnamese National Day in September, or the summer holidays between May and July, it's even more important to apply early. Ideally, 3 to 4 weeks in advance. The visa offices get swamped, and approvals naturally slow down during these national holidays. Here's a pro tip. Before you submit your application, always check Vietnam's government holiday calendar. A holiday on their end means your application won't move an inch, even if you applied on a regular Monday. I had a friend who made the rookie mistake of applying for his visa the night before the Tet holidays, thinking it'd be like ordering an Uber. Spoiler, he ended up spending New Year's Eve watching YouTube travel vlogs of Ha Long Bay, instead of actually being there. So save yourself the stress. Mark your travel dates, plan ahead, and apply for that visa a good 2 to 3 weeks in advance. That way you can relax, knowing everything's sorted. And all that's left to do is look forward to smooth sunsets, lantern-lit streets, and endless bowls of pho. Alright, your visa's sorted, bags are packed, and your cousin has already sent that classic "Bring me back magnets" WhatsApp message. But before you board that flight to Vietnam, let's run through a few travel hacks every Indian traveler should have up their sleeve. First things first, connectivity. The moment you land, grab a local SIM card right at the airport. Viettel, Mobifone, and Vinaphone are solid choices. And for around 200,000 VND, that's about RC700, you can score a 30-day unlimited data plan. Just make sure to test the SIM before leaving the counter. Trust me, you don't want to be wandering through Hanoi's old quarter without Google Maps on hand. Now let's talk money. Vietnam runs on the Vietnamese dong. And here's a fun surprise. You'll feel like a millionaire instantly, since Rs1 is roughly 300 VND. But don't let the extra zeros trip you up. A 50,000 VND note and a 500,000 VND note look surprisingly similar. And you really don't want to hand over Rs1 500 for a cup of coffee. While cash is king in local markets and food stalls, your cards will be welcome at most malls, hotels, and larger restaurants. Worried about food? Especially if you're vegetarian or vegan. Don't stress. While Vietnamese cuisine is heavy on meat and fish sauce, there's still plenty for herbivores. Just remember this golden phrase, Toi Anh Che. It means I'm vegetarian, and it can be a game changer. Check out spots like In Cafe in Da Nang or Hum Vegetarian in Saigon. And definitely try the banh mi chai, that's a veg sandwich, and pho che, the veg noodle soup. That said, be cautious. Even vegetarian dishes sometimes sneak in a splash of fish sauce.
So double check before you dig in. Shopping in Vietnam? It can be an adventure in itself. Street markets are a haven for souvenirs. But remember, bargaining is part of the culture. A good rule of thumb, start at about half the quoted price, and negotiate from there. Oh, and here's a fun little tip. Some vendors are massive Bollywood fans. I once scored a free fridge magnet just for humming a line from Kal Ho Na Ho.
Try it. You might just land yourself a sweet deal too. Timing your visit is crucial.
Vietnam shines the brightest between February and April, or again from September to November. Think cool, dry weather and fewer crowds. If you're syncing your trip with Indian holidays, plan a Holy Weekend getaway to Da Nang, or a Diwali escape on a Ha Long Bay cruise. One word of caution though, June to August brings the monsoon. And unless you're into spontaneous rain ambushes, it's best avoided.
Missing home food? You're in for a treat. Cities like Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Da Nang now boast dozens of Indian restaurants. Whether it's Tandoor in Saigon, Namaste Hanoi, or the family Indian halal restaurant in Da Nang, you'll find comfort food with a daisy touch.
And yes, many local chefs have finally cracked the code on less spicy. Just make sure to remind them anyway. Finally, a quick but important note. Don't skip travel insurance. Vietnam is relatively affordable, but in case of a health emergency, things can add up fast.
For just Rs 500 to Rs 1000, you can cover medical issues, trip cancellations, and lost baggage. It's a small price for peace of mind, and one decision your future self will thank you for.
So there you have it, your essential travel toolkit for Vietnam in 2025.
Now, before we wrap up this journey, and there you have it, getting to Vietnam in 2025 is simpler, faster, and friendlier than ever before.
With an easy e-visa process, direct flights, and a country that feels like a beautiful blend of adventure, culture, and food heaven, Vietnam isn't just a destination, it's an experience you'll talk about for years. Whether it's watching lanterns drift on the Thu Bon River, or chasing waterfalls in Dalat, every trip story starts with one thing done right: your visa. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below and tell me, where in Vietnam are you dying to go? Or, if you've been, what was your visa or travel experience like? Let's swap stories and help out future travelers while we're at it. Thanks for watching, and see you in Vietnam.